Thank you. Update since last year, we are having in this fashion industry a growing awareness of sustainability as a factor of long-term value production, the long-term materiality of sustainability, which is unfortunately matched by a persistent vision of sustainability as a factor of cost increase, an increase that eats into margins and hinders short-term returns. This is because in this industry as well, we are witnessing a transition from one model of capitalism to another, from shareholder capitalism to stakeholder capitalism. Capitalism that creates value just for shareholders, and this is usually associated to relatively short-term value, and the form of capitalism that creates value also for society and the planet, general stakeholders as well, long-term value. What we saw recently with Patagonia is a brave and bold example of a transition from shareholder to stakeholder capitalism. Mr. Chouinard transferred the ownership of the company to a trust that is mandated to monitor transitions towards a more climate sustainable industry. But these are two different business models. They create value in different ways. They imply also different governance structures. Just think about the role of board of directors. In shareholder capitalism, it controls, it checks that the interest of shareholders is protected. In stakeholder capitalism, the board of directors is the place where the interests of all different stakeholders, even society and the planet, converge, are aligned. It's a mediator more than a monitoring body. Where are we in the fashion industry in this transition? This transition is needed if we want to get to sustainability. If we get a brutal proxy indicator of transition, which is the emissions, the greenhouse gas emissions, we see that in the course of 2021, we didn't decrease these emissions, but emissions actually, in many instances in this industry, increased. And we know that we have to cut emissions by 45 to 55% by 2030 if we want to get to net zero by 2050. Why is that so? And I come to the conclusion, Mr. Chairman, because probably many reasons, but also because of lack of management systems that allow management of companies to accompany this transition. This is why with the Association of the Italian brands, fashion brands, we created a suite of tools for ESG due diligence, ESG performance monitoring, ESG sustainability reporting. They are meant to help the management of companies to highlight sustainability risks, to intervene on them, to monitor action on them, and to report on them. Because at the end of the day, if we become really sustainable and in a perspective of stakeholder capitalism, corporate sustainability report, instead of being a piece of creative writing, must become as important and as reliable as financial reports. Financial reports are based on international accounting standards, therefore they are comparable. We have to get to that also for sustainability report, to things that are produced according to a shared set of standards and a shared methodology so that we can have comparisons and we can facilitate this transition to a different form and more sustainable form of capitalism, even in this industry. Shut up!